Hi, you're listening to the My Body, My Story podcast.
It's nice to be able to do that at a stage in your life, to just not worry about every dollar, worry about every emotion, worry about every consequence, because the only person at the end of the day is going to impact is yourself.
This is the 45 over 45 chapter where we celebrate rule breakers and role models, the women who inspire us to live life our way and to show their sensuality, beauty, soul, and true essence. Here, we talk about what it's like to be 45 plus, adjusting to the changes that come with time, and we listen to the stories of our participants. If you have an interesting story, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us at info@alexandrawalker.com. That's Alexandra spelt with a K-S. Or visit our website, alexandrawalker.com.
Hi everyone, and welcome to My Body, My Story project. And today we're having Samantha here at the studio. And while she's having a makeup and hair done by Nicole, I'll be asking her a few questions. Hi Samantha. And let's start and tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. So, look, I'm a mum of two girls. That's my pride and joy. Both my girls are in their 20s.
Oh, wow.
I'm a fiance, soon to be married. I'm actually getting married in Paradise Island in the Bahamas in about 8 weeks. I'm nervous. I'm excited. There's a whole range of emotions going through my body, mind and soul at the moment. It's my third marriage, so it's doing it again. I said I wouldn't, but apparently it's third time lucky. That phrase was invented for a reason. So really, really excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm living life by design as I approach 50. It's a great time in my life to actually be fortunate enough to pick and choose what I want to do in my life, how I want to work, how I want to show up, who I want to work with. Living life by design now as a solopreneur and a bit of a boss woman. I started my business last year in September, People Mojo. It's an HR consultancy business and it's going very, very well. And I'm putting all of my passion and energy into that at the moment, to pipeline, to build, to promote who we are and really just build credibility with partners. I'm a netballer. I have been a netballer all of my life. I think I have had 2 gap years. I started when I was 5. I've played professional netball for the state and for the region when I was younger. Not so fit anymore, but I love netball. I love the social side of it and I love the physical side of it. My daughter, Jasmine, who's my youngest daughter, who is 21, her and I play on the same end of the court as shooters. We've got the height, so we play together and we have a bit of fun down there together and a little bit of healthy competition too. Yeah. About me as well, always been tall. So I'm just over 6 foot. I was always in the back of the class photos at school and always with the boys. I was great to find at concerts. Growing up, I hated being tall though, because all of my girlfriends were of what we call an average height. Yeah. And I still stood out like a sore thumb. It's something that you certainly grow into. And now as an adult, I absolutely love being tall. And people always say to me, aren't men hard to find when you're that tall? And the answer is no. I also get asked all the time, why are you wearing heels? Well, because I can. Yeah. And why not? So I love being tall. I'm very adventurous. I'll try anything once, twice. Give anything a go. I think life's too short to say no thank you. Yeah. So I love being into new things and learning new things about others, about environments, about myself. I'm a bit of a fashion tart. I have a lot of Chanel. That is my brand.
It's a nice brand to have.
It's a lovely brand to have. I'm very lucky. I had some really sort of high-profile jobs a few years ago and used to travel quite a lot and find myself in airports with a lot of time to kill. And unfortunately, that impacted my credit card. But what it does mean is that I have a very fond affection for Chanel. That is my luxury brand. And so I consider myself a fashion tart. I like getting dressed up. I enjoy it. I did some modelling when I was younger, so I think it stemmed from that. And just taking pride in myself. And when you've got 2 younger daughters as well, it's a good thing to be a bit of a role model as well. But yeah, I'm a sucker for fashion. I'm always running out of cupboard room and there's bags falling on my partner's head and shoes to die for and jewellery and anything like that. And then on the flip side, I'm a domestic goddess. I actually really like cleaning.
Oh.
So we have a very clean house. I love to cook. I love to entertain. I cook every night. And I really, really enjoy it. I find after sitting at my laptop for 8 to 10 hours per day that cooking is my release. And I cook all sorts of cuisines. My heritage is Portuguese Indian, so I cook a lot of Anglo-Indian food, but equally probably cook just as much Italian food and Asian food as well. So I really enjoy doing that. And as a result of that, nice segue, I'm a foodie. I love wining, dining, eating, all of the things associated with food, recipes, watching shows, learning how to do things well, and then learning how to do shortcuts for those midweek meals. And last but not least, I just love to dance. And I used to dance jazz, ballet and hip hop. I danced right up until my 30s. And then I realised when I was performing in concerts with my daughters that probably wasn't a very cool thing to do anymore. So I gave it up, but I love to dance and I will dance like no one's watching. I don't care who's watching or not. Luckily, I am rhythmic. But I love to dance. That's my outlet as well.
Wow.
That's me.
Wow. So many interesting facts. So how old are your daughters? You said in their 20s?
Yeah, Natasha's 24 and Jasmine's 21.
Oh, wow. Those girls.
And they're bloody awesome.
Yeah. So what are you most passionate about among all that things you told us? What's your biggest passion of all?
Really hard. This question was a tricky one. Like definitely family, first and foremost, is my greatest passion. For sure, my girls, my parents, my partner, and my dog Lola, who is a Pugalier, and absolutely included as part of the family, are absolutely my first priority always. And then I think at the moment, you know, my new side hustle, my passion project, People Mojo, is absolutely important for me. You know, emerging into year 2 slowly once September rolls around. And I do really want to establish that level of credibility and be known for delivering unique and, you know, tailored, you know, HR services. So that's probably my second. And then third is definitely health and fitness for me. I've had a couple of hiccups along the way with my health and it's made me realise a couple of things like how important it is, but also how precious life is, and you just can't take that for granted because you don't know when it might be taken away from you. So health and fitness is probably my third. But yeah, always my girls are my centre point. They always will be. I'm not apologetic about that at all. So yeah, that's probably my main focus.
Regarding your business, so who do you work with mainly? Like there is certain area or certain businesses you specialize on, or which businesses are your main clients?
Yeah, so I'm really fortunate in what I'm trying to, you know, start up, and that's working with businesses and individuals. So businesses are small to medium enterprises that potentially don't have an HR function, or they're looking to outsource a particular piece of HR work. At the moment, I'm working with a lot of startups, particularly tech startups, that don't quite have the policies, the processes, the procedures, the platforms ready to build the full HR landscape. So I come in and I do a piece of work and I start it and I finish it end to end. And then that's fantastic for them because they don't have to carry any, you know, permanent costs. So that's mainly where I'm finding myself. And look, individuals just want a service and a professional without the hefty price tag that they can talk to about their career, where they're going, their aspirations, how they might get there. So I do a lot of career coaching in that space, and working with people that might be experiencing a workplace-related issue. Could be like a grievance with their manager or another person, like how do I work through it, how do I get through it, or they could be wanting to figure out how to navigate through a really sticky situation or being bullied or harassed. So I work with those individuals to coach them around how to have conversations that get an outcome, basically. Yeah.
And where people can find you if they want to get in touch with you?
At my website, www.peoplemojo.com.au. It's in its first phase, and second phase will be coming around September as we get into year 2 of the business. It'll be bigger and better. But for now, it's a good start.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's move to the questions about aging and the body issues, or not maybe issues, but body image. So I'd like to ask you, with age, like you said, you're approaching your 50th birthday?
Yes, January.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow.
I will not say congratulations because it's still far away. And so what is your biggest positive change you see with age?
Biggest positive change that I see with age? Definitely a sense of calm and increased tolerance, for sure. Not taking life as seriously as I used to. I take every day as it comes. I was a bit of a planner before, and I think I was like that because the kids were young, and you have to know the comings, the goings, the meals, the shopping, all of that sort of stuff.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, because you're really responsible for, other people. Whereas now I have the luxury of taking every day as it comes, and I also just think it comes with a level of emotional maturity, and then having lived through different experiences. So that for sure. Realising that life just comes and goes. I've had people around me that are my age that unfortunately have passed away. So it's so important that you make every day count. Really, really important. And I think, from a health perspective and just being a woman is being okay in my own skin and with my own company as well. I was on my own for a while when I separated from my second husband, and I learnt a lot about myself and that it was okay to be on my own, stand on my own. And I didn't have that before, which is interesting. And I think because the kids always took up so much time and space, I just lost a little bit of me and the ability to reflect. So that's definitely come. And then taking considered risks as opposed to none at all. I was always I'm not taking any risks here. And again, maybe that was because I was very much, being a mum at that time. But now I take considered risks, and they work out well with, I think, creating just a fuller complement of experiences and connections, because if you don't put yourself out there, you don't know. So that's definitely something I would not have done, not even maybe 10 years ago, to be honest.
Once you feel free from obligation and the mum role, and I know that because I have a son of 21 years old, and once he just got his own life, and I was like, yeah,
breathe.
Yeah, I don't have responsibilities anymore. I can do whatever I want, and I have my business for more than 10 years, but it's only once I started having it like without being a mom role, and it gave me more freedom, to risk, as you said, to act, do things which I wouldn't do to be on the safe side, so I do understand what you're talking about. It's a nice consequence of being old. And
definitely, and it's nice to be able to do that at a stage in your life, to just not worry about every dollar, worry about every emotion, worry about every consequence, because the only person at the end of the day is going to impact is yourself.
Yeah.
So it's a nice place to be.
And so what is your biggest challenge at the moment with age, which came with age?
Look, definitely perimenopause. That's been really tough for me. Started about 2.5 years ago. and I can almost remember the day that it started because I just didn't get any sleep and couldn't figure out what it was. Perimenopause is something that was never discussed with me in my upbringing and in my childhood, or even as an emerging adult. It was such a taboo subject, I think, when our parents had us, and now it is not. And I think about all the topics that kids at school talk about with, LGBTQI and transgender, and, perimenopause needs to come to the surface because it was a dreadful surprise for me. It affected me with sleeplessness, mood swings, irritability, night sweats, day sweats, very, very, very bad memory loss, fatigue, foggy, a whole range of things. And as a woman who is always on and expected to be on, that was really difficult for me. So I've had to learn many strategies on how to manage that, how to show up at work, how to present, give myself permission to just have a shit day, if I am, and let that be okay. I've been very vulnerable to communities and workplaces that want to know more about it and how to manage it in their own workplaces. I recently was a guest speaker at a forum that Fraser Jones held at the Crown, and I just got up and spoke about my story, and I was with some other amazing professionals there that really do specialise in the menopause space. And the three of us shared our story and hopefully imparted some knowledge onto other people. There are a couple of gentlemen in the crowd, which was really good to see. They were fathers of daughters, so that was nice to see as well. And I really commended them for showing up at 7:30 in the morning to hear a session about menopause. That's probably been my greatest, I think, stretch. And as I get older, and then just days where you really do feel 50. The emerging 50, and the fatigue, and then of course managing your own business on top of all of that in a stage of perimenopause. It's really hard. So I write down a lot of notes. I'm always writing stuff down because I forget things continually. There's post-it notes everywhere. So that was probably my unwanted and uneducated surprise, definitely.
Yeah, unpleasant surprise. They're always unwanted.
Yeah.
So, what would you be the greatest accomplishment so far?
Yeah, look, definitely above all else is motherhood. My girls are incredible. They've lived through not the most traditional life with, a couple of marriages and a dad who sort of left quite early in the piece, and then a stepfather who was amazing, but, in the end we grew apart, unfortunately. And now they've got another partner of mums to get used to, and it's been a lot for them, and they are just the apple of my eye. They are both HR professionals as well. They both work in that industry, and I think we must just have it in our DNA. And they've both got lovely partners. They both live on their own, and they're just so independent and beautiful and amazing. So by far, I've obviously had a successful career and had some great jobs and met some great people along the way, but nothing compares to the joy and the pain of motherhood. Even the painful parts have been amazing, really amazing. Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I love this question, and if we would be able to travel back in time and imagine you meet your 30-year-old self, what would you tell her? What advice would you give her?
Yeah, again, another hard question. So much advice. The first piece of advice I would give her would be, don't settle for something that isn't quite right. I was raised in a Catholic, quite traditional home environment. And, you get married, you have your 2 kids, you grab a mortgage, you have an offset account, and off you go. You're set for life.
And you never divorce.
Yeah, no, and I've had 2 divorces. I've had a mortgage, done the offset account, which I don't believe in. So I think my lived experience and my reality has been quite different to how I was raised. So I think it's okay to know that your parents aren't always right, and you've got to find things out on your own. The other piece is like not to lose sight of yourself. My 30-year-old self had 2 kids, young kids, and everything was about them, which is where it should have been and how I wanted it. But I also lost sight of me, which was a real pity. But I found me again after the first husband decided to not stay around. So that was a good thing. There's always a silver lining. And probably the last thing is when I was younger, even though I'm taking risks now, I was impulsive. So I would say, let things marinate. Don't just be impulsive. Yeah, every dollar does matter and every decision does matter. Every decision has a consequence. So yeah, probably be less impulsive. Just marinate on things for a little while before you jump into them. Yeah.
Think twice.
Yes, yes.
So, and what advice would you give to younger women who will eventually reach this age, like will approach 50, and what would you tell them?
To take each day as it comes and not to plan too far ahead, because you can't control what's ahead of you. You really can't. And it's just wasted energy and anxiety unnecessarily. Don't aim for perfect, because it just does not exist. My amazing finding, I think, when I was in my late 30s. Be comfortable with who you are and honour the moments, like cherish them, absolutely. Don't be afraid to be bold as well. Say what you think, act how you are, be what you want, and give yourself permission to have an off day. And then the last thing is, where you can, just stay fit and be natural. There's so much Botox and fillers and sucking your tummy and have you got the right set of boobs and all of that sort of stuff. Is just try and be natural. Just grow old gracefully. It's okay. You know, what's happening in social media and mags and, you know, skinny mannequins. It's all lovely, really is, but you just got to do you.
Yeah, it's not real. So we just we nicely came to the next question about the body image and where do you think this idea of perfect body image comes from? But you kind of answered it already. But maybe you want to add something on that question.
Social media, for sure. There's just so many opportunities to get caught up in that. TV and entertainment, even shows like, you know, maths and I don't know, I can't think of another one on the spot, but they're all, you know, The Bachelor, they're all portraying these images of perfect people with perfect clothes. I think that's quite problematic. And then there's a certain type of behaviour that comes with that as well, which concerns me. Fashion magazines, and then because of all that external pressure, then we put pressure on ourselves. So, yeah.
And just recently I've got this question to myself, and like, who benefits from that idea and that image? You know, like when you see this perfect body, or you said that to the younger girls that don't get caught up on all the Botox, you know, injections and everything. I think first thing you should ask yourself, who is the biggest beneficiary, you know, for that? Like, who will basically earn money?
Who's the audience that's going to get a positive outcome from it?
Yeah, so it's and I think that it's created just for the industry, for the plastic surgery, for pharmacies. I don't know whoever is benefiting from that. And yeah, I agree that the social media and media generally is the biggest influencer of the image. So what would it be for you, your perfect body?
My perfect body, what would it be? So by definition and by social media and all the external influences, I don't have one, but I'm really happy with what I have. And I wouldn't change a thing, actually, to be perfectly honest. I'm blessed with height. I have hair on my head. I have some teeth.
Yeah.
I've got good bone structure. I don't have anything to complain about.
You're healthy.
I'm healthy.
Yeah.
Obviously, the purpose of these sessions is to pass on information, educate others. I have stretch marks. I have tattoos that I regret. But they remind me to make better decisions, and I own what I have, absolutely. And I will still get in a bikini. And I'm sure people go, oh, look at all her stretch marks. I've had a rib out because my youngest kicked it out when she broke it when she was in there.
Oh, wow.
So I have a rib scar, but, I just own what I've got. Like, it is what it is.
What does it mean to you, feeling good and looking good? What comes first?
Definitely, hands down, feeling good always comes first. And it's certainly more important for me. I mentioned earlier that, I love fashion, and I absolutely do, but I function from the inside out. And if I don't feel good, then I don't believe I can look good. And so I need to organise all my experiences in my mind and body before I present and show up.
But don't you have sometimes that shitty day then when you're feeling low and then you put on some Chanel accessory or something and you start suddenly feeling a bit better?
Oh, absolutely. I can put on a pair of earrings, pop my, fake hair piece in and my leopard print heels, and I'm good to go. Definitely a bounce in my step, for sure. But, at some point later in that day, I will still feel pretty average. So I try to go inside out first, always. But yeah, if I need to, there's that saying, fake it till you make it.
Yeah,
there have been days like that, for sure. I'm a woman and I don't want to pretend here that every day is amazing, for sure not. You do wake up exactly how you said, Alexandra. And yeah, I can fake it till I make it, but that's not who I want to be. It's not the core of who I am.
And what makes you feel the most beautiful?
Yeah, so awesome question, by the way. Definitely my partner. He's gorgeous. He always will call me beautiful, or today he sent me a text message saying, how's my sexy fiance? And that just puts absolutely the biggest smile on my face that he thinks of me that way. So I feel beautiful when he says that. My daughters do, because this is going to sound shallow, but I see me in them. But also because I'm so proud of them that I think, okay, I did something right in my life when I see them in action, and they're always hugging and kissing each other, and they literally live, I think, maybe about 350 metres away from each other.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, which is really awesome. And so they're always together, and that makes me feel beautiful because I think, okay, I really did something quite right in my life for all the other mistakes I made along the way. Lingerie always makes me feel beautiful. Always, even if it's just for me, and that most of the time, you know what, it is just for me, and I know it's on,
yeah,
and so I feel beautiful. I love that. Perfume, just a little squirt of perfume, and I'm good to go. It smells like magic. I feel beautiful, and I do have two faithful red lipsticks. When I'm feeling, like we were talking about previously, a little flat, a little bit, slumpy for the day, a red lipstick just pops.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel amazing with it on. I feel beautiful, and I'm lucky because I got dark hair. The red just, it just pops. So yeah, they would be things, and they were in no particular order. Just, they are some of the things that make me feel beautiful.
Oh, that's nice. And my last question, and also I like this question. If you have any, what is your favorite quote about being a woman, or saying, or thought, maybe?
Okay, so all of my favorite quotes about being from a woman come from Lady Gaga, first and foremost. She's got one in particular. Well, I resonate with quite a few, but the one that stands out for me the most, and this is probably because of my experiences that I've lived through, is do not allow people to dim your shine because they are blinded.
That's beautiful.
So I just live on, and I keep on keeping on, and there's days where you have to dig really deep and find the faith in yourself. But yeah, I don't let anyone dim my shine.
Excellent. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and joining the project. I hope you will enjoy the rest of the day in your photo shoot. And welcome again.
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you also for being an advocate for women. It's awesome.
If you have an interesting story, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us at info@alexandrawalker.com. That's Alexandra spelt with a KS. Or visit our website, alexandrawalker.com.